If you watched my Azure Data Engineering roadmap video 1 or 2 years ago, I'll be honest, that roadmap is outdated now. Over the last 2 years, there have been massive changes in the data engineering space. Microsoft Fabric came in, Databricks evolved a lot, Lakehouse became the standard, and now AI and LLMs are everywhere. So in this video, I want to share a fresh, realistic roadmap for 2026, a structured 6-month plan to become an Azure data engineer. Before we talk about tools, certifications, or projects, I want you to pause for a moment. Data engineering is not a shortcut career. You will deal with messy data, broken pipelines, failed jobs, production issues, and several other factors. But if you enjoy solving problems, building systems, and working on data that actually runs businesses, then this is one of the most rewarding careers out there. So if you're ready to be patient and consistent, then this roadmap is for you. Okay, so let's start with month one of this roadmap, and this is very important. In 2026, Python and SQL alone are not enough for data engineers. The industry has fully moved towards distributed data processing, and that means PySpark and Spark SQL. Databricks, Microsoft Fabric, everything is powered by Spark under the hood. So instead of writing local Python scripts or only learning traditional SQL, you need to think in terms of distributed data. PySpark is now the core language for data engineering, and Spark SQL is how large-scale analytics is actually written in production. So if you're a beginner, I would directly recommend starting with PySpark and Spark SQL. Don't spend months learning Python just to later relearn everything in Spark. So you can spend an entire month learning the basics and getting familiar with PySpark and Spark SQL. Now let's talk about month 2 of this roadmap, which is all about certifications. A lot of people misunderstand certifications. They are mostly not for learning, they are actually for getting shortlisted. In 2026, I recommend just 2 certifications for entry to intermediate level data engineers. The first one is the Databricks Certified Data Engineer Associate, and the second one is DP700 Fabric Data Engineer Associate. These 2 certifications align perfectly with how modern data platforms are built today. If you're aiming for senior level data engineering roles, I would also strongly recommend AUSER 104 Azure Administrator Associate certification. This certification covers core Azure concepts like networking, identity, storage, and monitoring, which senior level data engineers are expected to understand. Certification helps with resume filtering, recruiter trust, and they also give you confidence during interviews. Spend the second month working on these 2 certifications. You can allocate around 15 days for each certification and get them certified. Okay, now let's move on to the month 3 of this roadmap, which focuses on data warehousing and other core data engineering concepts. Month 3 is all about fundamentals. Tools change, platforms change, but the core principles of data engineering do not. Firstly, you must understand data warehousing. This includes dimensional modeling, fact and dimension tables, slowly changing dimensions, surrogate keys, and how to design data models that make sense for analytics. If you don't understand why data should be structured in a certain way, you will struggle no matter how good you are with tools. Next, you need to understand some core data engineering concepts such as sharding, partitioning, pipelines, ETL and ELT, data mods, batch versus streaming processing, data orchestration, data lineage, etc. So month 3 is all about learning the why behind the data design. Okay, now let's move to the month 4 of this roadmap, which is all about building a real end-to-end project. This is where most people go wrong. You don't need 10 small projects. You need one solid end-to-end project that looks like a real industry work. I recommend building one project using Databricks, Microsoft Fabric, and Azure DevOps. This project should include both batch and streaming data processing, along with proper governance using Unity Catalog, a lakehouse architecture with bronze, silver, and gold layers, incremental loads using Delta or Delta Live tables, and analytics built using Fabric. On top of that, you should implement CI/CD using Databricks asset bundles and integrate everything with Azure DevOps and Terraform for deployments. This single project should tell employees that you know how your real data platforms are built. Spend this entire month to implement this project from scratch. Month 5 is all about the future, AI and LLMs. Every organization today wants to use AI to interact with their data. As a data engineer, you need to understand how LLMs work, how data is fed into them, and how platforms like Databricks Lakehouse can support AI use cases. You should also learn how to use modern tools like Cursor, Databricks Genie, GitHub Copilot, and of course ChatGPT. On top of that, it's important to understand MCP, Model Context Protocol. MCP helps LLMs interact with external tools, data sources, and systems in a structured and reliable way. AI is no longer just about asking questions. With the right prompts, you can design pipelines, debug Spark jobs, write SQL, and explore data faster than ever. So, data engineers who know how to use AI effectively will always have an advantage. Okay, now I want to talk about the most important phase of this entire roadmap, which is month 6 to becoming job ready. This is where most people get stuck because the biggest mistake I see is this. People keep learning tools, collecting certifications, and doing projects, but they never actually become job ready data engineers. So, what should you do instead? First, you need to understand the business use cases behind data engineering. Data engineering is not about Spark, SQL, or pipelines alone. It's about how data is used to solve real world business problems. A very simple way to learn this is by reading real customer stories. For example, you can visit the Azure Customer Stories website and see how companies across healthcare, finance, retail, energy, and government companies use data engineering to improve decisions, reduce cost, and scale their platforms. I have already created a detailed video explaining how to learn from these customer stories, and I'll link that video here so you can watch it after this one. So once you understand a few real-world business use cases, the next step is to apply that thinking into your CV. Your CV should certainly answer these 3 questions. How did you build this data solution? How did you design and implement it? And what business outcome did it achieve? Stop writing CVs that only list tools and start writing CVs that tells a story. Then optimize your LinkedIn profile. Make sure it reflects your skills, your projects, and your problem solving mindset. And after that, start applying. Apply for many jobs. Apply even if you don't feel 100% ready. It's completely okay to fail 10 times, 50 times, and even 100 times. Every rejection teaches you something about your gaps, your interviews, and your communication. Because all it takes is one is. You might fail 100 times, but on the 101st attempt, you'll be inside the industry. Remember this, you don't need to be perfect to start. You need to start to become perfect. Keep learning, keep applying, and don't quit early. Your data engineering journey doesn't end at learning, it starts when you step into the real world. So, if you spend your next 6 months focusing on these areas, you'll put yourself in a very strong position to become an Azure Data Engineer in 2026. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. And see you in another great video. Until then, cheers. Bye.